This week on Dear Bros, would you baptize your baby just to keep the peace?
And is it always a good idea to be a good friend?
All good questions.
Stay tuned.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Eddie Smith,
I'm Tim Fulton.
and this is Dear Bros.
Dear bro.
Dear Bros, where we rip some advice columns and give our unprofessional,
Educated?
educated, very uneducated. Couldn't even think of the word. That's how uneducated.
That's
All right.
Problems.
Tim's up first. What do you got, Tim?
We're going to be talking about the troubled friend.
Okay.
Talking about you.
No. Intervention. Where's everyone else?
So mine is actually entitled, Man Considers Reaching Out to Dangerous Former Friend.
Oh, why?
Here we go. So, Dear Abby, I cut off contact with a friend I'll call Mick.
He's
After
Irish. He's Irish.
He's Irish. After my wife and I had our first child, he was a gambling addict, an alcoholic, and a serial abuser of women.
Whoa.
He was violent when he drank and once broke my nose because of some perceived slight. Mick had a troubled childhood and then served in the army in Afghanistan and Iraq. By the time he returned home, his mental health was extremely compromised, and I believe this is what led to most, if not all, of his issues and shortcomings. I've always believed that, at heart, Mick is a good person. As someone who suffers from mental illness myself, I feel I can understand his issues on some level. I would like to reconnect with him, but I need to protect myself and my family, both emotionally and physically. How might I approach rekindling a relationship with Mick in a safe and reasonable way?
Okay.
We're coming out guns blazing.
Yeah, this is his childhood best friend, he said?
I think he said childhood friend. Just says friend. Just says friend. They had a child. That's why we made the mistake.
Okay.
We're
It
not
seems like they don't have any connection whatsoever anymore.
That's what it sounds like. That
And
completely
I gotta
wrote
get
him
some
off.
WD-40 for this bad boy right here. Yeah, it seems, I mean, depending on how good of friends they were, how much time has gone by, it sounds like a bad idea. I'm not saying it won't work out in the end, but it's how much of this stuff are you willing to go through again if he's not okay?
It almost sounds like a guilty conscience.
Yeah.
Like, because he thinks he knows the reasoning, and it's almost like, oh, you feel like you're abandoning someone
Yeah.
despite the problems that they would cause, because you know it's kind of sort of not their fault, but at the same time you had to do it because you have to protect family.
Yeah, but he's not thinking of that now.
No. I wonder how much time has gone by.
Yeah, me too. It sounds like they had a lot of fun together and all this, but
I sure had a great time last night when you broke my nose.
yeah, but it sounds like he's like the chaos was part of the fun for this guy, which
Yeah.
is why he's thinking about like, oh, maybe I want my friend back. But I'm not saying it's impossible, but you got to think that if he's going to be doing this stuff around your family, like, do you invite him over your house? What if he asks you for a favor?
Yeah.
What if you might call him up and he might have gone to rehab and got fixed with the alcohol and the drugs and the gambling and all that.
That would definitely be best case scenario,
Yeah.
obviously.
I would suggest, if you're really considering this, and I hate to say this, but you probably just try to look up or find out what he's been doing lately.
It's not a bad idea.
Just to get like a, hey, have you seen Mick last couple months? How's he doing?
Just to get like a starting point.
Yeah, if it's like, oh, Mick's fucked up, probably. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because if you're like single, then okay. But I'm not saying you can't do whatever you want to do when you're married. I mean, you could do whatever you want to do. But when it comes to like now you're gonna bring like this like rescue human
Yeah.
into the fold, like how much of your time and mental energy are you gonna use on this guy that you don't have contact with anymore?
I don't know. I don't know how you handle that. Like,
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
it could be like, even if you come at this with the best of intentions, it could be a very slippery slope very fast. I mean, I would say if you do attempt this, you almost have to keep it completely separate. And what are you trying to accomplish? Do you legitimately just want your friend back for the sake of having like a friend again? Or are you going into this thinking maybe I can help him? Because that's also two different
There would be a couple of
aspects.
things that I would need to know before giving any further. It would be, how did the friendship end?
Did you just write them off? And
Did you like? Was it he stole money from you? Was it he did something like that? It says that he's a serial abuser of women.
I'm
Now
curious what that means.
That's like, that could be verbal. It could be emotional. It could be physical. Like,
That's what I'm.
that's
the biggest one for me.
yeah, because gambling addict, yes, you're hurting the people around you, but it's more yourself. Alcoholic, you're hurting the people around you, but it's more yourself. If you're abusing other people, you're directly doing that to another person. You're not being indirectly affected, you're being directly affected.
Yeah, and you have both a wife and a child, and someone who's serial abusive to women, they do it because it's an opportunity. Typically speaking, it means that they're bigger than the woman, and there's not as much or retribution there. So if they do that to a woman, they would do that to a child too, if given the opportunity. That's why that for me is the biggest thing, because you have to protect your wife and child.
This to me, just based off gut feeling, that seems like abuser of women he's in relationships with.
Even still.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, though, like, you can just keep the guy out of your house and not let him around your child.
Yeah.
And the other thing, if someone hits your kid in that kind of a way, it's over and done with.
Yeah.
Like, it's done.
Yeah.
In one way or another, it's done. So, yeah, I would say that I would lean more towards let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I kind of feel the same way. You got to protect numero uno, first and foremost.
And there is that thing, like, first of all, I would talk to your wife about it. Talk to your wife about it. Just be like, listen, I was thinking about my friend Mick and all this stuff and blah, 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 blah. Like, I feel bad, whatever. Like, just get her feelers out there. Because she might be, like, one of the rare, like, sweetheart of a person who's like, no, you should. Like, maybe, you can help him or whatever. Because some people are, like, saints and other people, like, don't, like, they just, which both are fine, whatever. But some people just have that innate ability to, like, feel empathy for other people.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're totally, like, okay with it. So talk to your wife, go from there.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was some clever insight.
Yeah.
Let's see what Miss Abs has to say. Dear Missing, drop that idea. You are not a therapist, and you can't fix what's wrong with Mick. The man is a violent abuser, and you have no proof that he has sought counseling for his issues. Offering the hand of friendship to someone who broke your nose because he had been drinking could be dangerous for you and your family. Your first responsibility is their safety. Yeah, she kind of hit that one on the nose.
Yeah, I don't look at the broken nose as harshly as she did, though.
Yeah, you're weird.
Yeah, but dude, it's a weird thing with guys. Like, if one of my friends punched me in the face when he was having a bad day or whatever, it would be handled, but it wouldn't be held against them forever. It would be like we need to get this to a point where we're both okay with it, but then it gets dropped.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I'm saying for me personally.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah, but what... But if you know he has the ability, putting yourself in this scenario, if you know a buddy of yours has the ability to become intoxicated and punch you in the face...
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, take out the fact of, like, your family's involved. Take out all that. If it's just his friend, he's got no wife, he's got no kids. They're out drinking, they get into an argument, he gets pissed, punches you in the face. I think that needs to be addressed seriously, but I think it's one of those, like, as long as certain steps and certain things are done, it's not like we are never going to speak again because you struck me as a guy.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying that I don't think you can take the family out of the situation. What I'm saying is, like, if someone has the ability to hit you because they think you slighted them, what is to prevent them from hitting one of your family members or your kid?
No, I totally get that. What I'm saying is she's saying in the context of she's not even mentioning she mentions the family and friends at the end, but it's more I look at it more I think that the other problems are more severe than the fact that he broke his nose. I think the abusing women thing is the most severe thing in that whole thing.
All right.
Guys hit guys when they get drunk. It's just a thing. Guys hit guys when they're sober. You get pissed off, you hit someone. But the abusing of
we run
women
in
is
very different circles.
Yeah. But she's right. Like, he can't fix the guy. If the guy don't want help, she can't fix him.
Yeah. True.
He can't fix him.
All right. You are up. What is your topic?
The Godfather. All right. So, this one is titled, Father-in-Law Expects Future Grandchildren to be Catholic.
Ooh.
My husband and I are trying to have children. He was raised Catholic, but is now agnostic. What is agnostic?
Agnostic means you believe in God or at least something up there, but you don't necessarily agree with a religious viewpoint.
You don't subscribe to a religion, but
Correct.
you believe that there's something going on.
Yeah.
Okay. I am also agnostic. My deeply religious father-in-law insists that our children be baptized Catholic. I am against it because I think it should be a person's right to choose which faith, if any, to follow when they are ready. I also think it would be hypocritical to go through a baptism ceremony with godparents and vow to raise our children in a certain way when we have no intention of doing it. My husband thinks it would be best to baptize our future children to, quote, keep the peace, because the Father will never forgive us if we don't. I think it's our children, our lives, our ethics. Which of us is right?
So I'm going to go ahead and say she is technically correct. It is her children.
Mm-hmm.
They are allowed to raise them however they want, and no one can say anything about it. But the husband is practically correct, like from a practical standpoint, specifically because you are agnostic. Agnostic means you don't prescribe to any religious views. So theoretically, there would be no harm in baptizing a child other than going against your own viewpoints. But there is no larger...
It's not like you're a part of another religion where it's like, that's totally off the table. You're not allowed to do it.
Yeah,
it's like...
exactly. It's not like...
It's like a whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can still do whatever with the child after the point. They don't have to make a big deal about it. Just bring the father. Do it on a Sunday when everyone else is there. Get it done and over with quick. Don't have a huge party. I say do it and get it done with.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of layers to this. So
ogres have layers.
Oh, onions have layers.
Parfaits
have layers. So she doesn't want to get the. I think it sounds to me, going from my gut, that this lady is against organized religion in some way, shape, or form. She doesn't like the fact that like it's whatever the structure of it. The you have to do this or whatever. She's letting the kids do it on her own if they want.
Yeah. But
then again, if you let kids believe in Santa or not when they're older, they're not going to believe in Santa. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. I know more people who are really religious because they were raised religious than I know people that were religious because they started reading religious texts when they were 30.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Get them when they're young. Same thing with cigarettes. So, I think that you can have godparents and not be godparents to me. I mean, I know on paper it's supposed to be like, oh, you're supposed to raise them Catholic and all this. Godparents to me is like, hey, this is like if something happens to us, you're just gonna take care of our kids.
It's funny that you say that because that was always traditionally what I believed godparents to be, but my brother and my sister-in-law, they would make godparents not couples. Like I'm one of my nephew's godfather.
Yeah.
And her sister, my sister-in-law's sister, is the godmother. So I was joking with them about it. I'll be like, so when you guys die, which one of us gets the kid? And like everyone else, they did it.
But is that traditionally?
No. See, traditionally, I think you are correct.
Yes.
Like I always think that was like what was supposed to happen. But like,
I think nowadays it's more of like a hey best friend.
Yeah.
Like it's not really.
It's more symbolic than anything else.
Yes, I think we're.
Yeah. I think we're supposed to raise them. Like I'm supposed to go over and be like, "Here's the Bible. Get ready, kid."
According to what the old school way of it was, but I think Nowadays, it's basically like, hey, if something happens, just be there.
We're starting with the Old Testament. Get ready for some fucking
That's not
nightmares.
Catholic.
Hey, the Old Testament's true in Catholicism as well.
But they don't go by that book. They go by the New Testament, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
That's literally not what they read, Tim.
The New Testament
You
is
can't
just
change
on-
that just because it makes sense in the real world.
The New Testament is on top of the
We're
Old
getting off
Testament.
topic. So I think
Heathen.
that what?
I said heathen.
Ethan, I think that she is putting her foot down in the not the wrong spot. My whole thing would be like, how big of a deal do you want to make this? Is it about how do I put this? If you get into a fight with somebody and there's 100 people watching, you're probably going to give a shit who wins. More so than if you got into a fight and there was nobody watching, right?
Correct.
So this is not, I'm not totally off basis here. Some people want to have this done so that their friends and family don't look at them in a different way because their community is Catholic.
That's true.
They probably have a community of Catholic friends.
Okay. Yes, I see.
And they're going to be like, you didn't get your grandson baptized? Like, it's more so of the like, hey, it is for you, but it's also part of like, hey, I don't want to be outcast in my community or be looked at differently in my community. So I would be like, okay, like, as long as we don't make it a huge deal. I don't want a fucking party I got to spend $2,000 on because we got to dump our kid's head in the fucking water or whatever they do with you. So we get him baptized. I'll name some godparents, just take care of him, but that's it. It's going to be you at a church. There's no 600 people watching. You could tell all your friends we had it done.
Yeah. See, I agree with your standpoint. I don't think there's any harm or foul there.
Yeah.
Other than, I will say, it does set a weird precedent that the
I don't think they should have to do it. I think that
I think they should, but shouldn't have to. It's weird.
Yeah, I think that if she doesn't want to do it and she wants to let her kids, I think it's your kids, your decision. But if it's going to cause we're never going to speak to you again, I would do it. And then the next time something came up, I'd be like, listen, motherfucker, like, I didn't want to fucking do the baptism thing. I did it so that you wouldn't do this. So now you shut your fucking mouth. All right? I gave one to you. Now you shut up.
Wow, you got fucking aggressive.
No, I'm just saying, like, there's times when, like, somebody, like, really doesn't want to do something, but one side is, like, more political than the other.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
And if she does agree to do this, golf clap to her. She gets the pat on the back. She gets the attaboy. If she doesn't want to do it, that's fine. But she knows where the road's going to lead with the tension between the family. Again, end of the day, gun to your head, it's your fucking kid.
It is.
You do what you want.
And to be fair, even when you grow up, you have the ability to get baptized after the fact. Like, just because you didn't get baptized as a baby doesn't mean that...
Well, that's why I go back to the whole, like, it's more so for the community for a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I still say no harm, no foul. Just do it. I agree with the keep the peace thing, but I'm a pussy. So
I don't like the fact that the grandfather is threatening, if he is actually threatening, to, like, not speak to them anymore. I don't like that.
I don't want. Wait, where does it?
It says, deep as Lorita's father, I think it would also be hypocritical baptism ceremony. His father would never forgive us if we don't.
I mean, you can say that, but it's still your child and your grandchildren.
Some people are fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Some people are crazy, bro.
All right,
let's see what she says. Wow, long advice. You are. But I don't envy what's ahead of. But I don't envy what's ahead for you. If you knuckle under to your father-in-law, it won't stop. You'll be expected to follow through with a Catholic upbringing. First communion, no, not necessarily.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
I disagree with that. Catholic schools, church attendance for the children, and everything that comes with it. You and your husband should bite the bullet up front with his dad before you become pregnant and make it plain how you plan to raise your children. If you aren't, raising them in a way you don't want could put strain on your marriage. This should be you and your husband's decision and no one else's. I don't recommend deviating from it.
So she does bring up one good point. Although, like we said, I don't think that there's so much going on here. First, I think she's wrong. It doesn't mean it's going to be forever. Baptism is like, all those things are kind of cornerstones, but baptism is one of the bigger deals. I don't think you can get.
Well, that's why I said you use it later.
Yeah.
I baptized the kid. I
agree.
didn't say anything about first communion. I didn't say anything about or you say, listen, I'll get him baptized, but he's not going to Catholic school. He's not going to CCD or whatever the hell that is, and all that, unless he says he wants to. In which case, the Godfather means fucking speaking.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So point number 2, I was about to make fun of them because for half a second, I almost forgot that they're already having a fight about children that don't exist yet. But it's actually a lot of emotional maturity and intelligence to be preemptive about this.
Yeah.
Because you know it's going to be an issue, so let's talk about it now. And 3, she like touches on this. It needs to be you and your husband's decision. You have to get on the same page now.
Yes.
You have to agree immediately, and you have to decide that this is going to be the long-term plan. We're not straying.
Yeah.
You two are a team versus whatever anyone else thinks.
Yeah.
Because if you do baptize them, you're gonna have friends who roll their eyes and be like, "Oh my God, you caved to your in-laws."
I don't think if you have like close friends, I don't think they're gonna say that. I think they're gonna get it.
It depends. Not everyone.
If someone I was friends with was like, "You fucking pussy," you like it was serious about like getting your kid baptized to like get your parents to just not fucking feel like their grandchild was gonna go to hell. I'd be like,
Babies don't
dude,
go to hell.
fuck off. Like, but at the same time, I get both points.
Yeah.
I think either way, it's gonna be salt on a wound for a while.
Yeah, I agree.
Either way. So
Get a divorce.
that's it. Should have
Fuck
married
it.
Catholic.
It's ruined. Just get a divorce.
Or just keep it in the family. All right.
I think that about wraps us up,
That
right?
does. It
All right.
does.
All right, guys. Tell us what you think about these topics in the comments down below. Would you get the baby baptized? Would you not get the baby baptized? I don't even remember what mine was about anymore. Oh, would you help the trouble friend or would you say, fuck you?
You know what you should tell the troubled friend?
What?
That there's 15% off cell phone cases for the next week.
That's right. If you go to brodownpro.com, there's a 15% off cell phone cases, and we have a ton of other cool shit there all the time too. That's going on until the 8th, and come back regularly because we are going to be having sales left and right. I have a feeling, a funny feeling.
Funny feeling.
Funny. Ha, 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 ha. Catch you guys next time.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.